You're watching Drakeling Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drakeling Gaming. It's something on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Devil's Gambit. We are running the latest updated version here, y'all, so we've got more content to get through. Anyway, alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. We do not look back as the homes and streets disappear behind us. As our night's embers fade, we have for company only the comfort of Teresa's shirt. Wait. Afraid of the chill, even the beasts of burden too. Wait, what did I miss? Oh yeah, the dream. Okay. Alright. We sit out before the break of dawn, and there's not a single pair of eyes to witness us. Not really a dream. More like they're getting out of there, I guess. The birds are quiet, the trees still. The sleepless elders dare not come out, afraid of the chill. And even the beasts of burden stay back, sleeping on the stable's floor. We do not look back as the homes and streets disappear behind us. As our night's embers fade, we have for company only the comfort of Teresa's shirt. I follow the old signs deep into the woods, edging ever closer to the valley's threshold. Oddly shaped rocks and unassuming tree carvings lead away from the beaten path towards a ravine. The one safe path down is visible only if you look at it from the right angle. At the bottom of the chasm runs an old creek. I walk upstream, eyes always looking for small stacks of rocks. They lead me towards a path hidden by vegetation up to the other side of the ravine. I think this is Cadgan. Okay, let's see. Not a difficult hike, if you know ancient signs used by the priests of Renai to navigate the valley, but almost impossible otherwise. Once I climb up to the other side, I sit on a rock and put down the bag I have been carrying. I allow myself a moment to think and watch the sun rising from the horizon, extending its rosy fingers from the treetops far ahead. I catch the silhouettes of birds taking off as their songs echo through the ravine. The ground is damp from a light rain the night before, and the soil lets out a rich aroma that foretells a bountiful harvest. I keep my eyes sharp, sight, hearing, smell, searching for even the distant hint that we're being followed. Can't be too careful now with that inquisitor around. The wind howls as it bounds through the ravine, and the birds here, unaccustomed to hunters, sing louder than anywhere else in Renai. In moments like these, it's easy to believe that this world is at peace. I look down at my hands, shaking, chilly, even if winter is so far. The walk calmed them down, but anxiety is what Dad calls it. A fire in one's core as thoughts of 1,000 possible futures flood in, all mixed into a tangled web of uncontrollable factors. I can almost see it all from a bird's perspective. All of Renai laid bare, the valley with its infected heart, the buildings in town, people and beasts of burden no bigger than a grain of sand. In this vast game board, just what actions are available to us? How will each move impact our adversaries and their decisions, and how can we anticipate them? And in this vast conflict, what role will luck have? All this storm of thoughts coalesce into a single thorn, anxiety, an emotion, and yet one I struggle to conceptualize. Before I could grasp the sensations it carries, it was gone. All that is left is the chill and the shaking hands, like arcane signs left by a long-gone priest. It's like, one more time. Just as I think back to the source of this emotion, the amphitheater overtaken by haze leaf, my ear flickers. Have patience, Rian. Just a little more. No, it's fine. I was just thinking back to last night, Caddy. I really outdid myself, I think. I bet everyone in town is talking about that trap I set up. The Duke will have a hard time finding people for an expedition anytime soon. The way that guy's eyes shot up in panic. You'd think I'm some kind of monster from it, but I was just hiding in a bush. What do you think? Did I do good? I can hear the smile in his voice just as well as he can feel the weight of my silence. That delay in my response is enough to clue him in on what's to come. Before I can muster a word or even a thought, his tail is already tucked between his legs. He tries to recede and hide under the surface, but his presence is unforgettable, unmistakable. We are two animals sharing a cage, and there's no way out. And yet my pulse quickens. At the back of my head, I become aware of how easy it'd be to run into the woods and hide. Thoughts of hiding places and forgotten spells skitter. But this time, I can't let it slip by. I reach down below the surface and grab him by the scruff of the neck. Rian, we have to be careful. That man, the Inquisitor, is dangerous. He doesn't dare look me in the eyes. I can feel every turmoil in him. And above them all is his fear of my disapproval. Seeing him in such a state, I can still feel a pang of sorrow. The irony doesn't escape me that Blah, the irony doesn't escape me that I can so clearly feel for him, but not for myself. Rian, look. Things have become so much more complicated now. All because of what happened at the amphitheater. The Inquisition is not afraid of violence. They can hurt us, Teresa, Dad, Hector, everyone in Renai. This is not part of the plan, is it? We specifically did not want the Inquisition here. Keeping my voice flat and neutral takes more effort than I care to admit. Even then he struggles and launches the first thought that comes to mind. But we did plan for Hector showing up. We didn't plan for Hector showing up either, and that turned up all right in the end. We can figure out a way. You're afraid of the Inquisitor finding out about your hands, right? Fear. That's what it is, right? Fear of what might happen. Overnight streets painted in blood. I know just the trick to make him think your hands work fine. It'll be all too easy if you just follow my instructions. I bet he's right. Compared to him, I like the drive to learn magic and the reckless abandon with which he plots how to use it. I handed both of those over a long time ago. Even so, if he can pull off a trick, then so can I. But it's not what we need right now, and the handful of seconds it takes for me to think it through is enough to make him fidget again. It might trick him at a glance, but you'll be using the eye's essence as a catalyst, and that would be much easier for him to notice and far worse for us. There'd be no clearer confession of guilt than that. He'd have us executed on the spot. He looks away, but this time his presence does not recede. He grows quiet and still, and for a moment I feel the chaos underneath his surface settling down. Just as that connection forms between us, I'm assaulted by a chill. My hand starts shaking again. I fear a terrible weight on my back. My eyes hurt. That's just a fraction of what he's feeling as the weight of his actions hits him. At the same time, he catches a glimpse of the game board I've laid out, and how much the situation has worsened with the Inquisitor's arrival. A new player has been introduced, a knowledgeable and unpredictable one, and far more dangerous than Monolino. Our pool of available and productive moves has shrunk to nearly a fatal degree. The reality of the situation finally dawns on him. I fucked it all up, didn't I? What are we gonna do? Can we still keep everyone safe? Is Aaron going to get better? Will he hurt Hector? I'm going to figure it out. I'll find a way. My voice comes out flat, clear, fearless. That's how he sees it, sees me. That belief alone is enough to soften his turmoil. Enough resting. Let's move on. I give the ravine one last look, confirming we weren't followed, and set off. Walking lets me push away. Walking lets me push away all those dark thoughts and focus on the moment. The crunching of leaves underfoot, the scent of bark, grass, sap, and decomposition. The sun proceeds in its march. Violet gives way to blue in the sky above us. The night's chill is dispelled. In the distance far above us, a hawk calls for its mate. Closer from the trees surrounding us, there's the chirping of common birds. I focus on each sensation, acknowledging and naming them one by one, until Rian's turmoil subsides. But he does not dip back into the depths. He lingers at the edge, following my gaze as it travels across the trees in this area, examining their unique features. Close to the ground, their trunks are thick, but thin out gradually until 2/3 of the tree's height. At that point, it spreads out and forms 5 branches. 4 more are less aligned with each other, with the 5th bending further down or angling itself in a different direction. Each branch, then, represents the same pattern once or twice more. The leaves it produces have 5 large veins. Again, 4 more are less parallel to each other, with the 5th aberrant one. The people from Renai are too accustomed to the Eye Valley's oddities. They might get an impression that the trees here are peculiar, but they wouldn't be able to put a finger on why. A fresh outsider, however, from a glance would notice that they look like arms. Each one a forearm jutting out from the earth with 5 thick fingers crowning it, which in turn repeat the same structure. Actually, yeah, they look like hands. They would notice, too, a pattern in these woods, that entire patches of it grow right-handed and others left-handed. There's a logic to it all. All one has to do is find the exact line where the right meets left and follow it deeper into the woods. There they'll find the shaman's tree. Water tongue. Okay. There they'll find the shaman's tree. I let all those thoughts linger in my mind, allowing Rian to listen to every word. Little by little, the embers of his turmoil turned cold. Can you believe it, Rian? Long ago in the times of ancient Renai, when our people lived in the valley's heart, there existed a massive network of roots and trees. They began with a single sapling, touched by the eye's essence. whose roots became so vast it began sprouting new trees across the land. Just imagine, a being so colossal and so incredibly old, outliving ancient Renai's golden age and remaining undetected, forgotten, utterly at peace. It reached all the way here, so far from the valley's heart that even if it was still connected to the original web of roots, the eye's influence was diluted on the way. After the cataclysm, the network of roots was fragmented. The eye's essence could no longer reach this far, and so today the trees here have the aspect of the valley's innermost heart, while retaining none of its power. I can feel his weight, as though he was hanging from my back, arms draped over my shoulders. With his ear aimed at my mouth, he drinks up every word, even if he already knows it. All the chaos, confusion, the grief is put to rest, and in its place new visions take shape, of a different time in the same branch of the woods, when the world felt simple and kinder, even if it wasn't. In his recollection, all that is tender and loving gains twice the color. The shaman tree, swaying up ahead, almost seems to beckon him to its peaceful roots, to the resting place of long-lost kin. Familiar voices echo through the woods. He carries an overfilled basket of offerings, each bountiful fruit at the flower of its youth, ripe and ready to be savored. When I try to recollect on my own, they always come faded and muffled, as if I only remembered how they should sound, the words I would describe them with, and not how they felt. But when Rian does it, every color is vibrant, every sound specific and rich, every scent threatens to bring tears to my eyes. A part of me wants to believe those memories are mine. Another cannot forget how foreign each sensation is, as though this is but a recollection of something that never happened. If I could see my reflection in that memory, would I recognize my own face? Would there even be a person in the mirror? But even with all this doubt, I cannot shake a deep, heart-wrenching longing for this past, for a world that will not return. Even if these memories are not my own, I long for them. His hug tightens, his mouth drifts closer to my ear. It's nostalgic, Caddy. A lion calls it saudade. Let's see, was that a penis? Nope, it's just fluff. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!